My name is Tim. This is a legit block number 13 stretch. Today we're going to work a lot of hip abduction, internal rotation. You're probably going to need a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, towels or books will suffice. We're going to need something to put under our knee because we have a lot of half kneeling positions or kneeling positions in general. So you want to make sure that you have some sort of buffer between your knees and the ground, unless you're super tough like me and you can just handle it. So we're going to open up with cars. Again, controlled articular rotations, working on neck all the way down to toe. Take you through step by step. We're going to do this for time instead of for reps, so you're thinking quality, not quantity. Get as many quality reps as you can in the quantity. All right, let's open up with neck. Find a good base position, feet hip width apart, nice, steady, strong position to move. Let's go ahead, bring that chin down towards your chest. Rotate towards your left shoulder, drop the ear, circle all the way around, bringing that ear to the opposite shoulder. Rotate, bring it back to the start. We're going to continue in that direction for 30 seconds, and then I'll let you guys know when to switch. Thinking about making that circle as big as you can, 1 mile per hour, trying to rotate through as much of a range of motion as you can. If you feel any pain when you get to that closing angle or that small angle side, just simply go through a little less range of motion. Once you get to the start, reverse directions. Now we're going the opposite direction, just going 1 mile per hour, trying to make that circle as big as you can through each rotation as you can. You might find you have a little bit more range or a little bit more fluidity with movement, one way versus the other. That's normal. We are naturally asymmetrical, meaning we have a difference from left to right. This is why we put so much emphasis on unilateral movements within our program. When you finish this rep, go ahead, relax. We're going to move it down the spine. Give yourself a little bear hug. We're going to bring our chest down towards the ground. We're going to rotate towards your left, drop your left shoulder, circle all the way around. When you get to the start, keep going in that same direction, 1 mile per hour. Try to make that circle as big as you possibly can. Circle all the way around. Remember, if you feel a pain in that closing angle side, aka the small side, that means we have a little bit of an impingement going on. We just want to take a little bit of range of motion off. If you feel a lot of pain, you may need to stop entirely. But as we're going through this, try to explore as much space as you can. Finish the rep that you're currently on. Let's reverse direction. Going 1 mile per hour. Try to make that circle as big as you possibly can. Locking in that joint above, which would be your neck, and that joint below, which would be your hip. Only thing moving is your entire spinal column from your tailbone to the bottom of your neck. And finish the rep that you're currently on, and we'll come back to the start. Now we're going to go arms out in front, closed fist, because we want to isolate that scapula. Now we're going to retract our shoulder blades back, elevate your shoulder blades up, push your shoulder blades forward, bring your shoulder blades down. If this is backwards, we're going to keep going backwards for 30 seconds. So this one direction, retract, elevate, protract, depress, and keep circling forward. Imaginary shelf our hands are sitting on, so our hands can go forward and back, but we want to avoid them going up and down. Finish the rep that you're currently on, get back to the start, now we'll reverse. Protract, elevate, retract, depress. Now we're moving a forward circle. Again, hands forward and back, not up and down. 1 mile per hour here. Take your time. Try to make that circle as big as you can. You'll notice you'll get a little fatigued in that mid and upper back. This just means that we're moving through a little bit more of a range or more focus than we normally do, which is all natural. As we go through this, you might find a crampy sensation. That just means we're entering ranges that we're not accustomed to, and your body's trying to find a way to either accommodate that range or maybe possibly get out of it. These are now potential that we're adding into it. So the more comfort we get at that range, the better we're going to be at that range. We're going to move on to shoulder. Let's go left side. Point your thumb pointed straight out. The first move is going to be up, across. Keep that thumb pointed out as long as you can. When you get to that ear, start to rotate that bicep in, that thumb will come forward, then reach that arm behind. We're gonna keep that rotation going till we get to that pocket. Now that thumb should be pointed behind us. Reverse that direction, you'll feel a block. Then we start to unrotate or unravel and just retrace our steps. We're gonna do this one for 60 seconds. So we're gonna keep going back and forth from forward to back to forward for 60 seconds, trying to accrue as many quality reps as we possibly can. Remember, we're looking for quality, not quantity here. 1 mile per hour, lock that rib cage in, thinking about creating as much of a circle as you possibly can. Excellent work. Keep it going. And let's finish this rep that we're currently on, and then we'll flip to the other side. Now we're gonna go right side, thumb pointed out, bring it all the way to your ear, bring that arm all the way back, reverse direction, 1 mile per hour here. Thinking about tick-tocking, forward and back to forward. As you get to those like sticky parts, the top of the shoulder, that extended position of the shoulder, or when the arm's pointed back, create as much tension throughout your body is the concept called irradiation, meaning that we're trying to create tension or stability to access more range in a particular joint. This is a really important concept to start to establish during cars, that concept of irradiation, to access more range and get more out of the actual exercise. Pails and rails, even breathing. The more we can focus on locking in certain joints, there's a concept called centration of locking in a joint to create more stability and more output. Same concept with the radiation. Create more stability throughout your body, create this almost Valsalva type of mechanism. Let's finish this rep that we're currently on. We're gonna move on to elbow. So thumbs pointed out, we're gonna flex at the elbow, get all the way up to your bicep hitting your forearm, rotate your thumbs inward, come on back down, reverse direction. We're gonna just tick-tock back and forth in this pronated to supinated, AKA holding soup, dumping the soup, for 3 reps here, not necessarily for time. Awesome. Once you finish with 3 reps, we'll bring your hands up to 90, or elbows up to 90 degrees, palm in a supinated position. Close your fist. Let's bring your fist down towards the ground, and we're gonna make a clockwise circle for 3 reps. And then a counterclockwise circle for 3 reps. We're gonna move into hip. If you need something stable, like a wall or even a chair, by all means, please grab one. We're gonna work on hip, and the more balance and stability we have, the more range we'll have. We're gonna do the same thing we did on hip as we did shoulder. So whatever leg, inside arm's gonna be holding. Let's bring that knee all the way up towards your chest, as high as you can. Rotate that shin inward, pull that knee out wide, reach that heel behind, keeping your torso nice and tall, circulating back and forth for 60 reps. This one's gonna bring more attention to creating stability. So as I bring that knee out, and I rotate that heel behind, that torso is gonna wanna dump the opposite way. That's creating space. And you'll notice that position when we get into our flexibility work, AKA pails and rails. And this is trying to create space that my hip doesn't have. So I'm gonna dump my torso away to give myself the perception of having space in that joint, where I'm literally just trying to find a way to compensate in that direction. So fight that now. Create this active range of motion as you're going through that hip. So knee up, rotate, bring that heel behind you, keeping that torso nice and tall and rigid, almost stoic, and then bring it around. Finish the rep that you're currently on, and we'll flip to the other side. Bring that knee up, rotate, heel behind you. Awesome. We're going to tick-tock back and forth here for 60 seconds, keeping your torso rigid, stance leg strong. Use that inside hand to give you more stability. Irradiate is that term. Create tension through your body so we can get more from that targeted joint action. Knee up, knee out, rotate, pull that heel back in. We're just going to tick-tock back and forth, 60 seconds here, thinking about getting as many quality reps as you can. That sticky part, create tension. Again, these high volume sets, these elongated sets, 60 seconds, you'll feel some kind of tension, some sort of crampy sensation, fight through. Okay, now we're gonna go back down to knee. Same thing as elbow, we're gonna do this for reps. Knee and elbow are same joint, ankle and wrist are same joint, hip and shoulder are same joint. So we're gonna train them exact same from top to bottom. All right, so heel pulled in towards your hamstring, rotate your knee out. So now where heel is pointed in and that toe is pointed out. Extend the knee, pull that heel back in, rotate that shin pointed in, so heel's pointed out. Extend, back in. We're just gonna tick-tock back and forth here for 3 reps. Once you're done with 3 here, we'll lock out the leg. We're gonna lock out that knee because once we start to move that ankle, the more that knee is flexed, the more that shin can move or that tibia. That can alter the range of motion or perception, again, a compensation. So lock that knee out, create centration in that knee, point that toe towards your shin, heel in, toe in, make a circle clockwise for 3 reps. Feel all that tension and counterclockwise. Try to move through as full circle as possible. Perfect. Let's go to the other side. Pull that heel in, rotate that shin out. So toes pointed out, heels pointed in. Pull that heel back in, reverse. We're gonna go 3 each way there. And then we'll go ahead and lock that leg out. Make a clockwise to counterclockwise circle. Perfect. Now, we're gonna go on to toe here. So in toe, feet are gonna be hip width apart. Thinking about all 5 toes are in contact with the ground. You should be able to feel the ground. This is the biggest proprioceptive organ we probably have that we're not using, meaning that the more I can feel the ground, the more I can use all 5 of my toes, the better strength from the foot up I'll have. So let's go ahead and increase the range, increase the stability, increase the function of your feet by learning how to re-educate them by moving them. All right, so let's go ahead. 5 toes are in contact with the ground. Pick your big toe up as high as you can and hold. So big toe is now elevated, 4 little toes are staying. Place that big toe back down on the ground. Let's repeat that again. Big toe back up and back down. Let's do one more. Big toe up and back down. Now, big toe is going to stay on the ground. Now we're going to lift our 4 little toes up. So big toe down, 4 little up, back down. Big toe down, 4 little up, back down. Big toe down, 4 little up. Great. Now let's lift all 5 toes up off the ground. So now my 5 digits are away from the ground. My whole heel and base of my foot is on the ground. Touch your big toe down. Back up, down, back up, down, back up. Now what we're gonna do is spread our toes as wide as we can. And we're gonna try to touch from our pinky toe down to our big toe, 1 toe at a time, like we're piano keying down. So pinky toe first, second, third, fourth, and then big toe. All 5 toes back up. Second, third, fourth, fifth, big toe, back down up. And then we're up again. Spread, pinky down to big toe. Awesome. We got one more drill. Let's get into an all 4s position. So our base position for quadruped Hands and knees, not just hands and knees, but shoulders stacked over wrist, hips stacked over knees. From here, we're going to go through cat camel. Thinking one segment at a time. So pull your head up. So now I'm in cervical extension. Bring my chin down and then push my upper back towards the ceiling. Trying to pull each one of my vertebrae up, 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 and then you'll get to your tailbone. Tailbone will dump behind and down. Now from here, start at the tailbone, and then one segment at a time, bring each one of your vertebrae close to the ground, get towards your neck, and then elevate that neck again, and then we're just going to snake back down. And then back up. Back down. And back up. Awesome. Now we're going to go into a second position. So we're going to bring our hips back towards our heels. So I'm in this now collapsed position. And what this is doing is taking this lumbar out of the equation, right? So now my lumbar is completely locked in. So now what I've done is create that centrated effect or that locked joint effect. And now I'm going to have to get more range from somewhere else, which will come from the upper back, aka the thoracic spine. So we're just going to go through the same movement. Start off with extended, bring that chin down, so now I'm flexed. One segment at a time, pushing my vertebrae up and back. Go till you feel a block, and then reverse direction. And we're just going to snake up and down, almost like a slinky going down the stairs. One vertebrae moving at a time, trying to create a smooth, gradual transition up and down. We'll go one more rep. And then we'll transition forward. Then we're going to get down to our elbows. So now we're going to block our upper back, and now we're going to focus on our lumbar. So extended, flex, push as much of your vertebrae as you can towards the sky, and now we'll get down to that tailbone. Reverse, all the way back up. 3 up, 3 down. Awesome. Okay. That is our open up with a half frog position. This is a prone or face down, abducted or leg pulled away, internally rotated or rotating that femur internally or towards the midline of your body position. Talked about this a couple blocks ago. How abducted you are makes a huge difference on how much internal rotation you have. We have 3 heights. We have low, moderate, high. Probably always better to start low and work into a moderate or high position as you go. And you'll see here that that abducted position of that hip makes a huge difference. So let's say that I'm kind of here. I got a lot of available space. But let's say I kick this out wide and I get more abducted. I might have a little less space. Now I do want to have a challenging stretch here. So what I'm going to do for me is I'm going to adjust the height to that more moderate position, being mindful that I get all the way into that abducted hip flex position. So I want this knee pulled up into my armpit, and I want this knee as far away from my other leg as I possibly can with my knee bent at 90. We're going to hold here for 2 minutes, trying to relax into the stretch. Anytime we're prone, I really like to stress this breathing. So in through the nose as you breathe in, trying to get as much surface area of your stomach into the ground as possible. And then control that exhale. Because now we've essentially created an inverted breathing mechanic where breathing in and breathing out is assisted or resisted by gravity. Now we have to lift our body weight against the ground. So now we have a little bit more resistance on the inhale. We have a little bit more, I guess, assistance on the exhale. You want to control that exhale just as much as you want to try to pull in as much air because you have a little bit more resistance and then more assistance, a little bit of eccentric overload of that diaphragm, if you will. So we're a minute in, a minute to go. We're going to open up with pails and rails. Pails is going to be driving my foot into the ground. Now, if you're barefoot like me and you have uncomfortable driving your ankle bone into the yoga block, again, you can put a towel underneath there, you can put some shoes on, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. We're going to ramp up to 100%, holding that for 10 seconds. Once we're done with our 100% 10-second hold pails, we're going to go into the opposite direction, trapping my knee, lifting my foot and shin away from the yoga block as high as I can, away from that yoga block. Now, if I can create a lot of separation, I mean like 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, we want to stack that yoga block to a higher position. Now, when I do that, we don't want to lose this abducted position of the hip. We want to really stress that adductor groin and then internal rotation into that position. So trying not to quote unquote cheat it. All right. So another 10 seconds here, and then we'll get ready for some pails and rails. When we're done with that rails, try to adjust the yoga block if you can to get a deeper end range. Let's take a deep breath in, pack the air down, start to drive that foot down into the yoga block, 20%. You'll feel a lot of adductor groin, 40%, 60%, ramping up to 80%. Now you're at your safest, greatest effort and holding here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trap your knee, lift your foot and shin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Parachute down. I'm going to adjust the height of my yoga block so I'm more vertical, still being mindful that I want to be at a full abducted position here so I'm not quote unquote cheating it. All right, so now I'm going to hold here for another minute and then we'll get ready for some passive range liftoffs. Key behind this passive range liftoff is taking it towards whatever it was in my end range. So remember how whatever height you hit, and then you're going to try to pull towards that or as close as you can and holding that for 5 seconds for 10 reps. Once we're done with that, we'll switch sides. We'll go passive range liftoffs on the opposite side. Try to control your breath, relax into this position, holding here for another 15 seconds, and we'll get set up here for some passive range liftoffs. Okay. All right. Remember, we're trapping that knee the entire time. Here we go. Pack the air down, lift the foot, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 6. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 7. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 9. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay, let's set up now on the opposite side. I'm just going to turn around so you guys can see me. We're going to go now half frog with your opposite leg in that abducted, internally rotated position. Move this back a little bit so you guys can see me. All right, so now we're here. Remember, we want to be abducted, so turn that hip into the ground, holding here for another 2 minutes. Elbow, knee at 90, pulling that knee up towards your armpit, and then that leg completely abducted, so we want to keep that knee as far away from my opposite leg as I can. Again, focus on your breath. We got a 2-minute stretch here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. It's going to be assistance on the exhale or the way air out. So try to control that air out by slowly breathing through your mouth like you're blowing up a balloon or blowing through a straw. We're going to work pails and rails, passive range liftoffs, and then we'll get into our next position, which will be a half kneeling wide. Not a whole lot of transitional stuff like iso movement paths for half kneeling or half frog or frog. Just more along the lines of just getting really good in these positions and slowly ramping up into a more bilaterally abducted, internally rotated position, which we'll finish off with half frog. The other thing you'll notice too is you'll feel a lot of hip adductor soreness following this. Just means that we don't really hit these abducted positions a whole lot, and we probably should be stressing them just a little bit more than probably we are. Just hitting that frontal and transverse plane, or the side-to-side lateral, or the more rotational aspects of a joint or a muscle, makes all the difference in the world. Another 15 seconds and we'll get set up here for some pails and rails. Pails will be driving the foot down. Rails will be pulling the foot away, holding each for 10 seconds after a 100% ramp. And then we'll move into a deeper stretch position and then finish off with some passive range lift-offs. Let's take a deep breath in, pack the air down, start to drive that foot down, 20%. Ramp up to 40. Ramp up to 60. Ramp up to 80. Now your safest, greatest effort, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse by lifting that foot away, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, parachute down. Get deeper into that stretch if you can. Stack up that yoga block there. And then we'll hold here for another minute. Remember, we want to be abducted here, so get that knee as far away from the ground as you can, or from the opposite leg as you can. Just letting that leg sit into that stretch position here now. So now we're deeper into that stretching we started from a abducted and then internally rotated position. So we're going to use that now to hopefully get deeper into that end range, fight like hell to get towards that end range when we do these lift-offs. Fatigue will set in, and that's okay. We're going to go 10 5-second holds, each one trying to get as close as we can to that end range we found at the end of our rails. Once we're done with that, we're going to get into a new position, half kneeling wide, working hip abduction. Another 15 seconds, and then we'll get set up here for some lift-offs. All right, pack the air down, lift that foot away, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 6. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 7. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 9. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 10. Go ahead, relax, guys. All right, so we're going to move into a half kneeling wide position. Keep your yoga block handy. So when we set up into this half kneeling wide position, we want that yoga block around the foot or the leg that's outstretched, but we also want a towel or some sort of balance pad underneath so we can get into a comfortable position as half kneeling. So half kneeling wide, we want a separation from this knee to that opposite foot with you just want to necessarily, so if you look at it, if I sit back here, I'll feel a lot more of what I think is groin, right? So now I look at it from the context of this adductor, which is also a big adductor mangus group called basically a hip extender and hip abductor or hip adductor, which I'm stretching here. So if I lean back and then I get as far over as I can, I'm going to get a lot of adductor mangus. If I get over here, get forward, and I push that foot out wide, I lose a little bit of that hip extender, but I get a little bit more of the other groin muscles. You find wherever you feel more of the stretch is the answer here, right? There's not a right or wrong. There's no optimal. We're trying to get adductor mangus, blah, blah, blah. It's really just about, okay, I feel more of a stretch here, and I feel like this is going to bring me more value, so I'm going to go there, all right? So for me, got pretty tight adductor mangus, So I'm always going into that hip flex position and that abducted position. But you find what works for you. Once you find that position, we want to get wide as possible. Be mindful of your kickstand on this side and not necessarily just resting into this, I guess, externally rotated position of the femur, or that heel coming in and that knee going wide. Try to get that heel in line with that leg as possible while we're abducted. Essentially, don't give a break onto that internal rotation, because we want abduction, internal rotation. So we're going to build it up through just good old-fashioned focus, effort, and intensity. So we're going to go 2-minute stretch here, and then we're going to progress that into pails and rails. This one will be probably one you don't move a whole lot, which is different than what we just did the last one, right? So big rails focus, big passive range liftoff focus. So you'll find that you'll have a lot less available range on this one. The idea, though, is a 10 and 10 and 10. I want to try to pull that leg away without shifting, adjusting, or leaning. So I'm thinking, how do I pull that leg away? Just good old-fashioned effort and intensity. I want to try like hell, regardless if I actually move or not. We're a minute in, minute to go. Once we get ready for pails, it'll be a breath in, pack the air down, create tension through your body, start to drive that foot into the ground, working up to 100%. Hold that for 10. At the end of that 10, we'll go into rails or trying to pull that foot away, going deeper into abduction. If we do create separation from the ground without leaning or shifting, you do want to bring your body to the ground, not your leg to the ground. So we get deeper into that abducted position. If you don't, you might find that pails contraction, and that might actually override that nervous system block, and you could sit deeper into that stretch anyway. So either way, try to get deeper into the stretch, try to challenge yourself at the end of that rails. Let's take a deep breath in, pack the air down, drive that foot down, 20%, 40%, 60, 80, your safest, greatest effort, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reverse. Lift that foot up and away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If you did that right, you should have felt a pretty violent glute contraction, maybe even a cramp. That means it's at end range. Abduction, hip extension, big powerful actions of the glute. We're going to hold here for another minute, and then we're going to work in what we call iso movement paths, or sometimes called hovers. The hover will be transitioning from this extended to flex position. So essentially, I'm just going to pick my leg up and over a yoga block. The higher it is, the more challenging it is. The higher it is, the more likely you'll lead to some sort of compensation of leading or shifting or adjusting. So I'd rather you go the low height and transition forward and back without leaning, shifting, or adjusting than going the high height and leaning, shifting, and adjusting. Because now we want to challenge that end range and really get strong in that position. So find a good position there. So we'll take that yoga block situated right in front of the foot. The movement's going to be taking my foot up, over, back. That's 1 rep. We're going to go 5 reps with a 5 count forward and back, so 10 seconds per rep. Okay, here we go. Find a good position, create tension, pack the air down, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 5. All right, let's switch sides. Take your yoga block, place it out in front of your other foot. We'll set up now in this wide position. Adjust your towel if you have it. Remember, we're going into whatever you feel. You feel more of that stretch, adductor groin wise. So for me, it's always this abducted flex position. You might want to just push over as far as you can and keep your weight forward. Find what feels like it's going to bring you most value today. So 2-minute stretch here, trying to relax in that position. Then we'll go into pails and rails and then hovers. After that, we'll finish off with a hard one. We got full frog after that and some eccentric neural grooving, and that will be it. We'll finish off with some breathing. Big component on abduction, a lot of glute contraction. I think there's a lot to be said about improving glute strength, improving just overall hip strength in terms of back pain, in terms of function, performance, athletics, aesthetics. But you just got to understand the anatomy and what it does. It abducts and extends the hip. So if I want to get more from the actual glute, okay, well, how do I load it? How do I load it in a shortened range, a lengthened range? We talk about all the time and things like RDLs or med ball good mornings or anything we're creating a hinge. Is the deeper that hinge, the more we'll recruit the muscle fibers from eccentrically loading it, hamstring and glute. You know, and that's a powerful changer of what you want here. So from the context of what we're trying to accomplish here versus just arbitrarily like doing glute exercises, like do you feel tension? Do you feel a contraction? You should feel it right now. This is a shortened position. Can we get it in a lengthened position? We have a full, robust profile of creating whatever it is I want right here from a performance or a function or aesthetic. Okay, let's take a deep breath in, pack the air down, start to drive that leg down to the ground, 20%, 40%, 60, 80, your safest, greatest, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse. Try to lift that foot away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. See if you can sit deeper into that stretch. If you felt a cramp, great. If you didn't, you know what to do next time. Try to relax your breath. We'll go those 5 hovers and back, forward and back, 5 seconds each direction, and then we'll move into full frog here next, which will be a combination bilateral abduction and internal rotation. And if you're not familiar with it, you're in for a treat. Another 15 seconds, and we'll get ready for some hovers. Okay, guys, here we go. Take a deep breath in, pack the air down, lift this foot and travel over. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pack, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Okay, we're officially done with the yoga block. Now we'll get into a full frog position. So, abducted position, start there. So both legs wide. Then we want heels directly underneath my knees. So a lot of times we'll get this heels together position like we do with rocking. We want to go wide. So wider than you think. Collapse down. So now my heels are in contact with the ground. My knees are pointed east and west, and I push my butt back till I feel a block. If you don't feel a block, it probably means your feet are too close together and not wide enough. And that just means we're not into an internally rotated position. Once you push your hips back, it's all about holding here. I'm shaking already. means I've really stressed my groin adductor. I've really taken my end range abduction. Now I'm really just trying to hammer it home with whatever internal rotation I can create. I'll take this off so you guys don't hear me breathing heavy. So we're gonna hold here for 2 minutes, progress into some pails and rails, and then we'll finish off with some eccentric neural grooving. If you're not familiar with frog and you're very uncomfortable, take a break, get some water, maybe take a little bit of the throttle off by pulling your heels in. But the more you can get in that heel wide, knee wide, internally rotated position, the more value this will bring. Okay, so minute in, minute to go. Keep pushing your butt back towards your heels. Keep your heels glued down. We're going to ramp up into pails and rails. Pails will be driving your feet into the ground. Rails will be pulling both feet away, so both feet are moving now. Key is, as I pull both feet up off the ground, or in rails, is I'm pushing my butt back into my heels. I want to think I'm pushing back and lifting up, as opposed to lifting up, because you'll find you'll actually pull yourself away from the stretch, or out of the stretch. I am shaking uncontrollably. You probably can't tell, but my whole body is like convulsing. This is great. It means it's working. All right. Let's take a deep breath in, pack the air down, drive both feet down, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%. Safest, greatest effort, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, parachute down. Sit deeper into the stretch if you can. We'll hold here for another minute. Gosh darn. If you cramped, if you just feel brutally uncomfortable, yeah, keep going. That's the point, right? Oh, man. Never show weakness, right? That's what I'm trying not to do right now. Okay. Another 30 seconds, and we'll get cranked up on some eccentric neural grooving. Let me explain that. So what we're going to do differently is we're going to go out of the position. So I'll pull my body forward with keeping my heels and my knees in the same exact spot. From there, the contraction will be driving my feet down into the ground and then pushing my butt back against my heels. So I'm going to go from this hip extended position to this hip flex position while I'm in this deep internally rotated abducted position. Okay, let's move our body forward. It's going to be 10 seconds pushing back. So the cues will be contract by pushing both feet down, drive, and I'll count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you hit your end range, try to keep pushing. Find your upper limit in terms of tolerance or discomfort. Let's see what we got. So take a deep breath in, pack the air down, drive both feet down to the ground. Start to drive your butt back, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go 4 more reps. Pack, drop down, and drive. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pack, drive, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 3. 2 more. Pack, drive, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Last rep. Pack, drive, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax slowly. And I mean this slowly. Move from that position. Oh. 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 And let's finish off with some breathing. Okay, so let's finish off with some breathing. We're gonna go 3 positions to choose from. And the reason behind each position, it formats a different way for your body in space. So if my body is facing down, if my body is facing up, it's a different gravitational effect on that thorax, right? So if I'm pointing straight up and we have this negative pressure pulling air into our lungs from the diaphragm contracting, it's different when my torso is pointed down or an inverted position. Now we don't have negative pressure, we have the effect of gravity. So in a sense, I have to contract to inhale. We reverse it, we have to contract to exhale when we're inverted. And that goes into why we want to focus on inhale versus exhale, right? So in regards to the positions, if you really struggled with internal rotation, this one, if I was cramping a lot, I felt like I had nothing, you want to be inverted. And what that does is gets a little bit more of a bias towards exhalation or that breathing out. And the position we want to do with that is going to be an inverted position. We want hips stacked over knees, just like we did in the CARS multi-segmental spine. So hips stacked over knees, elbows on the ground. Now, the more I'm elevated in my knees, the more inverted I am. So we can grab a yoga block, we can place that underneath our knees just like such, and we can get more inverted. We can use books, we can use towels, if you have balance pads, do that. But the more inverted you are, the more effect you have on challenging exhalation. So if you really struggled with that internal rotation of the hip, you want to focus on a exhale bias strategy, AKA inversion. The second position, well, and I know this probably feels a little counterintuitive, but stick with me, is if you struggle with the external rotation with the legs in front, will be that crocodile position, just like we did in our prone shoulder external rotation. So I'm here. And what this is, instead, I know it feels like we're inverted still, but what this is instead is now I give myself some sort of resistance when I inhale. So exhalation for internal rotation, inhalation for external rotation limitation. So now I'm going to bias inhalation or breathing in because I'm giving myself resistance. So as I breathe in through the nose, I'm going to have to push my body away and I have to contract. I have to contract that diaphragm and I have to really pull that air in because I have some body weight resistance as I'm pushing it in. So crocodile if you struggle with external rotation. Now the final one would be a 90-90 with a internal rotation on the left side bias, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Where you want to focus on that, if you didn't really struggle with internal external rotation, but you might have felt the left side was a lot more restricted than the right side, specifically internal rotation wise, that's when you want to go a 90-90 internal rotation left side bias position. So what that will look like is I'm going to get a chair or a wall and set up with a 90-90 breathing position. I know that probably seems confusing because we did 90-90 for our position to stretch, but the truth is it's the same 90-90 degree, 90 degree, just kind of a different angle, I guess. So from here, my heels are resting on a chair. I am now relaxed in this position. I want to pull my knees there. If you have a towel or yoga block, we're going to squeeze that between our knees. Remember we talked about abduction? So same thing, adduction now. And then I'm going to try to pull my left heel out and then point my right knee straight back. From here, I'm going to pull my heels down onto the chair or the wall. And what that's going to do is activate my hamstrings and then get my pelvis from this anterior to more posterior position. And what that will do is bias that internal rotation on the left side, and it's going to challenge the diaphragm to breathe against that, like what we call left AIC position. Now, torso matters quite a bit here. Remember, the lungs are different sizes from left to right. The heart's on the left side, the liver's on the right side. So what I'll do is as I'm driving my left heel out, squeezing this yoga block between my knees, I'm going to take my left hand, place it on my ribs, and take my right hand, place it overhead. If you feel more comfortable just going inverted or crocodile, completely fine. But if you felt like, hey, I had a massive limitation on that left side during that hip internal rotation, that 90-90 position with the leg back, I really strongly suggest you go to that 90-90 position. Now, what we're going to do from here is pause, maybe play around with each one of those positions, and then figure out which one you're going to go from there. So if you need to stop right now, please do. Now we're going to go into the actual breathing cadence. So whatever position you are, we're going to go inverted, crocodile, or 90-90. We're going to go into this 4-4-4-8 or 4-4-8 fork tempo. So breathe in for 4, we'll hold for 4, we'll breathe out for 8, we'll hold out for 8. So I'll say 4-3-2-1, 4-3-2-1, 8-7-6-5, 4-3-2-1, 4-3-2-1, and we'll repeat. So we're going to find that position, and we're going to go through 10 cycles of that 4-4-8-4 tempo. All right, so whatever one you want to get into, let's go ahead and get into that now. So if I'm in a crocodile position, if I'm in an inverted position, or if I'm into this 90-90 position, let's go ahead and do so now. Get a couple breaths in that position just to kind of get comfortable. Remember, we're always going to breathe in through the nose. We're going to breathe out through the mouth. No matter what position we're in, whether it's inhale or exhale bias, it's still going to be controlled full air in through the nose, controlled pushing the air out exhalation. The imaginary breathing in through a straw is going to be kind of the metaphor we'll stick with. And we're going to do that for 10 repetitions, and I'll guide you through each one. All right, so let's get that position. We're now getting a couple breaths in. Let's start to get into this direction. So everyone breathe out. Now we're going to breathe in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that air in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Push the air out through the mouth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold that air out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat. Pull air in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the air out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And repeat. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now continue on for 5 more cycles. Thinking about filling in as much of that air in. Keep breathing. So we should be now moving into that hold, that exhale. If you're getting to that inverted position, exhale will get progressively harder and harder. You'll start to maybe get a little bit of lightheaded. Control that breath. If you need to take a break, take a pause, get out of that position for a second. Do so. Try not to make yourself to the point of passing out. If you're in that crocodile position, you're going to really struggle potentially getting into that inhale or that breathing in. If you're in that 90-90 position, you'll find that left leg's going to want to move out of that position. You'll find you'll start to squirm, you'll start to contort. It'll be harder to pull down on your heels. It'll be harder to squeeze that yoga block towel or book. It'll just be harder, right? So that's the goal, is to try to maintain that tempo. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a great tempo to keep on your own. So if you ever need 5 breaths in a good position, anytime you need to do that, we'll get a huge amount of benefit. Getting 5 cycles of that, 3 cycles of that. All right, so we should just be wrapping up that final inhalation or that final exhalation, and we can slowly move from that position. All right, so that concludes our breathing. Really good strategy to help finish off. If you ever need to do that post-session, great aspect of getting a really good targeted effect. All right, we'll break here, and that concludes Stretch for today.